Hello, and welcome back to Factorio. I am Dorthek, and this is the next episode in our Factorio 0.17 and 0.18 walkthrough tutorial Let's Play. In the last episode, we built purple signs. Unfortunately, I made an error, and the supplies for purple signs are up here, whereas the actual purple signs production is down here below the bus, because I forgot that we were putting it on the lower side. And when we left the episode, we were having issues getting enough steel in. So, between episodes, I upgraded our steel production. I took us from 1 smelting array of steel to 4, which is not a lot because it takes 5 of these to make 1 full lane. And I'm feeding those from this train station here that I built, which itself is being fed from over here, where I built out the second station, so now trains can load from both. And I have 2 trains feeding iron ore into here for the bus and iron production, and I have 2 trains feeding down here exclusively for steel. Now, as a result, we are producing 4/5 of a belt, and if we look at our productivity for the last minute or so, we are actually making right around 45 per minute. It's spiky, so we're not really making that many, which is our goal. So that's a very good thing. We've got enough production, and in fact, we've completed Lab Research Speed 5, which means we can start on our next items. I really would like to get Kovarex next. It's a long build, 1500 packs needed, but it's going to save us a huge amount of uranium in the long run. So, the next thing we're going to work on is some more defense. Oh, I also put out another array here. I'm not sure yet what it's going to be. Probably more iron. 2 episodes ago, we built the tank and used it to clear this side, but we've not done much about this western side or the north, both of which are at risk of attack. So I would like to upgrade those defenses, and I'm going to do that by adding laser turrets and what we call dragon's teeth. I'm also going to automate repair. So the first thing I would like to do is produce some laser turrets. Laser turrets are right here. They are made out of steel, battery, and electronic circuits, and they take 20 seconds to craft. So we don't need a huge array for them, but we need, something. We want to be able to build, a few hundred altogether. So we can probably get away with 2, maybe 4 assemblers. Let's build that over here. Let's make sure we've got that in place. So let's look at it right here. Let's move it aside. So if we're going to make laser turrets, we need a lot of steel, a lot of electronic circuits, and a lot of batteries, but that's a 20-second craft time, so really we need not that much. Let's not do it this way. Let's do it this way. Yeah. Alright, so all we really need to do is bring up some belts. This is going to be 1 belt, 2 belts. Well, they're producing 1 every 20 seconds. Let's actually do it this way. Input, input, output. So we can load this way and unload that way. And let's make 4. We can do that, and then we can do this. To rebalance it. And all we're going to do is put them into a provider box. These do not need to be on the bus or anything like that. There's no reason for it. So this will be split steel and green circuits. Steel is right there. What little bit of it is going to make this far down? Oh, first. And then we need batteries. Which we have somewhere here on the bus. Right here. Reverse, 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 reverse. We're not getting in a whole lot of steel or green circuits, so I don't know that this is gonna run at full speed. Honestly, takes quite a few of them to produce, but that's okay. We have time. Are batteries coming in? Very slowly. Oh, and this is not built out. Why is this not built out? We're waiting for base robots. Here, battery, battery, battery. And while that's coming in, let us grab some accumulators, like a stack of 50. And we're just going to put them down somewhere. It doesn't really matter where. We just need to get a accumulator bank to protect us from laser turrets spikes. The most convenient way to do that is to use a substation. Now, we have not used one of these before. Substation is our new type of power pole. If you recall, we had the medium ones, which had a fairly large area, but fairly moderate range. We had the small power poles, which had even less area and even less range. We have the large power poles, which have a tiny area, but very long range. And now we have substations. Substations have a huge area, and their range is just enough that those areas touch. So they are great for doing all sorts of building where we don't want a lot of power poles. And we're going to take advantage of that for a battery bank. I think we're going to put it right here. Now, we do need to link it in some fashion to something. Like that, I think. So that that power pole is not actually inside its zone. And then we're going to take these accumulators that we built, and we're just going to fill this square of them. we can do better. Because we can overlap by one. They have to just be touching. Oh, need more. Now, of course, we're not going to be able to run through here. So that's the downside. Nope. And there's a little bit of a gap, but that's okay. This is probably way more than we need, especially since we have tons of excess power capacity right now. But it'll help, and it'll make sure that we have tons of backup power. So that's 96, almost 100 of them. Each one is 5 megajoules. That's almost 500 megajoules. We're good. Let's put these back, because we don't need them. And that'll let us use our lasers. Speaking of which, how's the laser production coming? Well, it would be better if I'd reverse that inserter. So we have 24. Well, let's grab a few and let this build more. Again, steel is our limiting factor, as well as just the fact that this is very slow. So let us go over to the north wall, which is the one that I most want to reinforce. I will meet you over there. So here we are at the north wall. So the nice thing about laser turrets is we can just place them there, and that's all they need to do. You can also see they have a bigger radius than gun turrets, which is very helpful. And we can use them to reinforce our wall, but before we do that, I want to demonstrate another spider clearing technique. Basically the same turret creep we saw before, but this time with lasers. So lasers require power, which means we have to drag a power pole with us. And the idea is to bring out a power pole and then drop onto their heads, a power pole with a bunch of lasers. So we can copy that and make that into a blueprint. Oh, hey, look at that. There were some biters. They died. Laser creep. And we can put a big power pole in here as well. We'll put that in here. And let's put it on our toolbar, just so we can use it easily. Now we can pick it all up. Or we could do this, for that matter. And the idea is to... Come on, robot. Is to go up there with dragging a power line. And hopefully the biters won't come from the right and attack our power line. I'm thinking we might want to leave some turrets on it, but we don't have that many turrets, and the truth is they don't really attack power lines that are not doing anything else that much. Alright, we're getting close to the biters, so we need to start exercising caution now. So let's place our first one right there. Good. We want to make sure that we're staying well behind our defensive laser turrets. We also want to make sure we're staying within robot range. So if I stick it here, the robots can't do it. So I'm going to place one here. That's going to draw them all out. I can place I'm going to remove these lasers, not the whole thing. And as they fight back, the robots can repair them. That does put our robots at risk, but, you know, that's the way it is. We'll place it there. That's why I made sure to bring a stack of robots. Nope, I walked in the slime. Oh, and we're out of turrets, so let's get some so that the robots can build them. And there we go. And we're done. That was the last guy. Now, as always, we want to make sure that everything is repaired before we pick them up, because otherwise they will stack poorly in our inventory. And that's how we do laser turret creep with robots. It is a lot easier than doing the gun turret creep, especially in vanilla. Gun turret creep is much easier in if you have mods that let you automatically fill the turrets with bullets. What I find the problem with gun creep is you gotta drop your guns, and then you've got to put bullets in them, and while you're doing that, the biters eat you. Whereas with these, oh, there it is. So we're gonna put this in our walkthrough folder for you guys, and I will upload that when I get a chance. But this is a very convenient way to clear things. So whether you use turret, creeper, or tank, at this power level, we could easily clear nests. And this power level is a reminder, we're currently at evolution. Gotta be able to type evolution. About 76. So 76% of the way to worst possible biters. And we're picking up after ourselves because, you know, we don't want to litter. We want to pollute, not litter. Oh. Looks like that's a choke point there. So we can actually protect. It looks like they're coming in from this right side. So let's take this as an opportunity to build a new defensive structure. Now, the old way to do that would be to run belts of run a belt of ammo out to it, but that's annoying, and you know, you have all that stuff buffered on the belt. Let's find the narrowest choke point here. Looks like it's right across here. Yeah. So we can take our wall. I did bring some wall segments. And come across right there. Now, because we're dealing with tougher and tougher biters, we can double up the wall. And now what we're going to do is use some of those, some of these substations to just make it a little bit easier for us to place this stuff. Okay, now we can place laser turrets. Don't think we have enough to run them solid like that. No. Almost. Let's use a little bit of landfill to make this available. I'd really like a few more on the end, so I'm gonna remove a couple from here and there. That's pretty good. We have 2 more left, so let's put some back. And now we have this wall defended. Now, we can actually go a step further. And if you recall, over on the west side, we didn't take nearly as much damage or have attacks because of these forests. Not these forests. These forests. They have to wend their way through it. So there's a trick to doing that with walls, and it's called Dragon's Teeth. This is basically the idea. You don't want to leave... You want to leave a gap, but you want to leave a gap of 2. Like that. And the reason for that is the biters need to be able to weave their way through. If they can't weave their way through, then they're just going to chew on it and break your wall. But if they can, nope. But if they can weave their way through it, then they will go. They won't attack the dragon's teeth, at least not as much. Instead, they will pick their way through it, and as they're picking their way through it, that's more time for your turrets to engage them. So this is a very handy defensive system for improving your turrets, and it works with regular turrets just as well as with So this is now a very strong defense wall between the lasers that can shred the enemy and these dragon's teeth that the enemy would have to pick their way through. So they can't come at us from there. What this really means is we can decommission this wall. It is no longer of need to us, but I think I'll leave it alone because, I don't want to keep too close an eye on this, and I'm hardly ever going to be up here to repair things, so sooner or later the biters will probably overwhelm it, and we might as well have that second line of defense. Not really costing us anything except a little bit of ammo. The thing also to watch, though, is if we look at our power consumption from laser turrets specifically, you can see the spikes as they're firing. They're pretty big spikes. Suddenly 21 megajoules. You can see in the production, the steam turbines had to come up. Now, we didn't actually use any of the accumulators at all, but but we have but they're there just in case. So that is how we use laser turrets for defense. The next thing we can add to refine our defenses, and I didn't bring the supplies, but I'll just show it to you, is we can place roboports. We can place a roboport, and this roboport is covering our wall and such, and if we give this roboport construction robots and repair packs, it can automatically fix our wall. That's very handy, but you then have to make sure that you can replace lost robots and killed... oh, here comes an attack. You have to be able to replace killed robots and lost... used up power repair packs. Which means now you need logistics. So either we can extend our logistic network to cover our walls, or we have to have a separate logistic network protecting the walls and trains or belts delivering replacement parts. I've done it both ways. I think for this particular base, we're just going to make one large logistic network, at least for these walls. We're not going to tie that into it. And that's... and that'll just have to do. We may do an outpost here for this stone. In that case, that outpost will probably get a separate logistic network so that we can see how it's done. All right. You now know everything you need in order to be able to build some laser turrets, upgrade your defenses by placing some of them, and use the laser creep technique to kill biters. So why don't you go ahead and try killing some biters yourself? It's a lot of fun, I promise you. In the meanwhile, if you enjoyed the episode, please give it a thumbs up. It'll help with visibility. If you would like to be notified of new episodes in this series or in other Factorio or other game series that I may be putting out, then hit the subscribe button below and you'll get notified when I have new content. And as always, don't forget to save.